Hey everybody, it's Paula here from the Excel Club and welcome to another week's Excel Curation Corner. In this video, I share with you some amazing Excel content from around the world that was published in the last week to 10 days. But this week, I have something very special for you. This week, I'm not presenting the Excel Curation Corner on my own. I had a partner this week that also went out and searched for some amazing content for you. And that is Punit from Excel Champs. How you doing, Punit? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. And you? And thanks for having me here.
No problem. Welcome to the Excel Curation Corner. Just before we share the great content that we have to share today, how, if you don't mind me asking, how did you manage to get into blogging and videos and stuff on Excel? What drove you to Excel?
Well, my story of choosing Excel over anything else is same as every other blogger has. So I used to work for Samsung. So my role was as a data analyst, and I was doing forecasting. So people used to ask me like, hey, how to do this and how to do this and how to create a chart. So what I did, I started a blog internally in a company. So I used to write blogs. So those blogs were not, actually well written, but in steps, very precise. So I thought I can write blogs as well. So let's do this. So slow and steady, I started 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is a good thing. I can do this apart from a job. So I switched from Samsung as a data analyst from a blogger who writes on Excel.
Nice, very nice. Do you know what? A lot of us started that way.
Yes.
I started in the very, very same way. So I did in work, being the go-to person for Excel and actually just getting bored with people asking me the same questions that I start producing content. So a lot of us started, but you were a financial analyst. I didn't know that.
I used to do, financial analyst, and then I used to do forecasting actually. So
that's cool. That is a pretty cool job.
Yeah, I used to say this thing to everyone. Hey, I do forecasting. So everybody used to ask me, like, what do you do? You just do Excel. Then I used to tell them, no, these are the formulas that I use. Very, very complex formulas, like very deep calculation. But still, that was the time when I realized that Excel has such a, powerful thing in formulas and pivot tables. And I still have fascination about coding and VBA and M language and all that. So this is something, it's a vast world of data.
It's very vast. VBA and coding, I have my brain just says no. It just puts up a wall and it just says no. I don't know how many times I've started to learn VBA and given up, but I've managed to get my head around DAX.
Yeah.
So DAX is also considered a coding language. So I can't understand how I managed to get my head around DAX. I think it's probably because of using tables in Excel. And when you're writing formulas and tables, it pulls in the column instead of the cell references. And I was able to think in columns, but I'm just not able to think in code, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and DAX is something, it's going to be the next big thing in Excel, I guess. After Power Query.
Yeah, Power Query I think is a little bit better and offers more than DAX. If we get Power Query right, and if you're skilled at Power Query, you don't need as big DAX skills at all. So you don't. Well, some of the content we have to share are on the Excel Power Tools this week. Yes. So if we jump in and start sharing, then I will share first, if that's okay with you. So the first post I am going to share this week is from Liam from Some Product, and this is Power Pivot Principles, Irregular Month-End Reporting Case Part 6. Now, this is obviously a series of posts, and it's not just this post that I want to highlight, it's the whole series of posts related to this. When you're using Power Pivot and Power BI or DAX and any of these tools, it's very easy to use the time intelligence features, which will allow you carry out calculations based on fixed month ends. But a lot of organizations don't have fixed month ends. They may have a reporting end that's the last Friday of each month, for example. And in this entire series, Liam goes through how you can overcome this problem and the types of calculations that you can use to set your own month ends for your reporting in Power Pivot, which can also then apply into DAX. So that is the first post that I have to share. What are you going to share with us?
Okay, so I have this post from Excel Campus, and this is around Power Query. So I was doing exactly same thing with pivot table. I was trying to, count unique rows, and then I saw this post where he shared a very, very unique way to actually find unique rows with Power Query. So now the point here is this method is real time. So when you do this, and when you load your data into Power Query, you can remove duplicates, and then you can find the unique rows category wise. And the second thing is when you update your data, and you don't need to, you don't need to add or you need to change anything. You just need to refresh it, and you get the updated values there. So this is one of the smartest tricks that I have found in Power Query.
John also includes in that post a video, and I read that post too. So there is a video there, and there are workbooks to download to practice along. So yeah, definitely a great post.
Yes.
Okay, well, the next post I'm going to share is also on Power Query, believe it or not. It is from Excel University from Jeff Lenning. This is to create calculated columns without writing formulas. So we all know that when we are getting data ready for analysis, that we mightn't have all of the information in our table, and we might need to add additional columns to our table. For example, we might have the unit sold and the selling price, but we don't have the actual sales, so we'd have to calculate the actual sales value. Now we can do this in Excel with Excel formulas, but what this article goes through is how you can calculate and add additional columns without using any Excel formulas at all, instead using Power Query. Now there's a ribbon in Power Query for adding new columns, and you can basically add columns based on other columns. You can use custom columns, you can add conditional columns, and then you can also add columns by example. And there's examples of all of this in the article here on Excel University. So there's a link to all these articles that we've talked about so far and the rest of them below this video. So do hop down and show a little support to these creators.
So here I have a video from my online training hub. So this training is basically around custom number formatting and using conditions in custom number formatting. And plus you can also use emojis, scaling, and colors. And that's, I guess, one of the custom number formatting is one of the smartest thing you can do with formatting in Excel. So this is very, very creative and intelligent Excel tip.
I really love the use of emojis. I think it's really bringing Excel hip and trendy with the way people are talking online and the use of emojis online, and the younger generation as well. Not that I'm that old, but yeah, I love the use of emojis. I've actually sent my online training hub some tips, some Hive tips. Last week I sent some tips to the creators as well, but I know there was a problem with the Hive tips last week and people found it difficult to collect them. So I'm hoping it works this week and Minda's able to just reply to a comment that'll be left on her video to claim her tips. Fingers crossed it actually works properly. So I've sent them tips and all already. I've actually also sent some BAT tips to all of the creators too. So if you want to claim them BAT tips, you'll find a link below this video to a video showing you how to claim those tips. The last article that I'm going to show today is not purely an Excel article, but it's an article from the Corporate Finance Institute on the top 10 types of financial models. Financial modeling is huge business, and an awful lot of people, majority of people, create financial models in Excel. Now, there are different software packages, but Excel is amazing for this. And this article goes through the different types of financial models that you can actually create, giving you details on each one, It also gives you an example and files to download, so you can see an example and a use case of each one of these types of financial models. Financial modeling is very specialized, and you really, if you're doing it in Excel, need advanced Excel skills for financial modeling. But if this is an area that you want to get into, definitely head over and take a look at that article. So that's the last article from me.
Okay, so the last post that I have is from My Excel Online, and this post is around converting Excel to PDF and PDF to Excel. So we have, I think, multiple options in Excel too. You can convert a particular selection of cells into PDF, or you can even use VBA for that. But apart from that, what is special in this blog post is you can convert a table from a PDF to Excel. So this can save you a lot of time, and you don't need to use that messy steps. So that's one of the very time-saving tips, you can say.
Brilliant. That's another great post. Efficiency tips are always really well received, because everybody wants to save time and improve their skills in Excel. So that's an awesome post. Brilliant. I leave a link below this video, as I said, to all of the posts that we shared today. I'd like to thank Punit very much for joining me and for putting in the effort. It does take a little bit of time to search the web and to actually find these golden nuggets of content that we can share with you. So Punit, thank you very much. What I'm also going to do is drop some links below this video back to yourself, your social profiles, your website and stuff, so that people can connect with you if they want to connect with you as well. So that's it for this week's Excel Curation Corner. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now and hit that notifications button so you don't miss any more of my videos. So now it's over to you. Tell us which one of the pieces of content that we shared with you this week was most valuable to you. And if you have content you'd like to share, why don't you drop it below in the comments. Until next week, goodbye now.